I gave up. I gave up my dream of being a coach. Not because I didn't care anymore, not because I wasn't a damn good coach, because I am. I gave up because I couldn't figure out how to attract clients, no matter how hard I tried. I had spent years learning different techniques, building websites, and trying social media, paying for ads. And after failing to gain traction again and again and again, I finally surrendered the dream to the I just can't do this gods. And then a friend of mine, she made a stupid decision. But we'll get to that in just a minute. Here's a little backstory about the quiet peace of letting go. Are you familiar with the hero's journey? Well, here's how my story went. I heard the call. I resisted the call. And then I accepted the call. I stepped out of my private, peaceful state and into a world of sharing, speaking, and serving others. I found mentors. I invested in coaching programs. I learned healing techniques, and I even built a few websites. I even did things that I never imagined I would be able to do, like start a community. I went live on social media, and I even wrote out some ads for Facebook that kind of worked. I transformed into a hero. But here's what stopped me. I never got the flipping promised reward. I poured my heart and soul into everything that I was creating, but no one responded. I felt like I was always going to be stuck in my forever world of being unseen, unheard, and overlooked. And eventually, I just decided it was time to give up the dream. That dream was no longer worth my peace of mind. The person I had become, so far from the shy, socially awkward woman that I was, still wasn't good enough apparently. But here's the thing. The woman that I had become, the woman that I am today, she knows that she's good enough. And if the gods, universe, source, or whoever is out there, if they were still withholding that reward, I didn't want it. I felt just like Elphaba in Wicked. I was promised, you can have all you ever wanted. And just like Elphaba, I replied, I know. But I don't want it. No, I can't want it anymore. Because something had changed within me. Something was not the same. I was through with playing by the rules of someone else's game. It was too late for second guessing. It was too late to go back to sleep. It was time to trust my instincts, to close my eyes and leap. It was time to try defying gravity and not let the social media world pull me down. And so I stopped. I quit. And I felt such immense relief. I felt peace for the first time in decades. Now let's move into the turning point where I received a different, unexpected kind of invitation. One day in June of 2024, my friend made what I thought was a stupid decision. She bought a program called Legacy Builders. She told me she invested in it. I thought she was wasting her money. It's a program that teaches you how to resell the program. I thought the whole thing was a scam. And if you've heard of it, you've probably thought the same thing. It's not easy to admit that I was critical and judgy of her choice. But I didn't think my friend, who was in a dire financial situation, I didn't think she should spend her money on it. And I also don't like to admit that I thought it was my job to rescue her from a bad financial decision. But looking back, that's the only reason I ever would have purchased this program. And now my guess is the universe knew that, because buying Legacy Builders changed my life. I thought it was all hype. Instead, it's all about hope. So here are a few things that I've learned over the past year. It was never a mistake for me to answer my calling all those years ago. And I'm not too old, too quiet, or too late to still have that dream come true. I just hadn't found the right support system, the structure to finally receive that promised reward. Legacy Builders, it became like a project for me. It became a focus. It became a space to learn and practice the skills that I had never learned before. And the thing that's so beautiful is I didn't feel any pressure to have results. It became a reason to keep creating the kind of content that I enjoy creating. And it actually feels like an extension of myself, a different way to serve my audience. And so over the past 12 months, something really shifted within me. I kept showing up even on the days when confusion and self-doubt, when they were in charge. I told myself they were the voice of reason, and the reasons they gave me, they all indicated that I should quit again. But then I realized that there were these subtle echoes in my head, echoes of clarity, of curiosity, and they were always there too, like doubt and confusion's quieter counterparts. And when I started letting those quiet, confident whisperers lead the way, I learned they really do know what they're talking about. It took me 8.5 months to attract my first customer. It was March 26, 2025. We were in southern Arizona in the desert. It was about 9 o'clock in the morning. I was sitting outside in our screen tent, scrolling through my Google newsfeed, reading advice columns, and taking quizzes about 1980s movies. And then I opened my email, and there it was, an email from System.io. It read, "Congratulations, you've made a new sale." I have to tell you, it was a surreal experience. I wasn't all that excited. I didn't jump out of my chair. That's just not my nature. I felt more dumbfounded. Like, it worked. It really worked. I am so grateful I accepted the universe's invitation to try again. So if you've given up on your dream, or you're this close to walking away again, if those doubts and fears and confusion, if they've been yelling at you, you just aren't meant for this, I want you to know that it's okay to let that dream go. That's not what you expected me to say, is it? You thought I'd tell you to hold on to the dream, keep going, you've got this. But I can't, and I won't, because that's not how my story continued. And it may not be how your story goes either. Because maybe, just maybe, the star that you were reaching for wasn't your star. Maybe you have to shift your focus. Look for a different part of the sky to see the star that's actually yours. And maybe, like me, it's a star that you wouldn't have reached for unless someone else pointed it out to you. You haven't failed on your hero's journey. You just haven't completed it yet. And the promised reward, it's still there, waiting for you to collect it. But if marketing your programs or services feels like you're entering the inmost cave for the umpteenth time, and you're not sure you're up for this particular challenge, type "ready" in the comments. I would love to introduce you to my mentor so you can start mastering the marketing side of success. And if you're curious about how my journey with Legacy Builders began, check out this video right here, where I share my thoughts on the program just 10 days into it.